Hey there, Idaho. We at Inquiry by Design are excited and honored to be approved for Idaho's list of ELA instructional materials for adoption with a comprehensive classification. We're thrilled to have this opportunity to introduce our work to everyone across the state. At Inquiry by Design, we firmly believe that all students are capable of working at high levels. And we believe that students should be engaged in the types of real work that adult readers and writers do with literature. So you won't find pages of worksheets or fill-in-the-blank exercises in our materials. What you will find are paths for inviting students into the kinds of questions, uncertainties, discussions, and interpretive work that mark the behaviors of expert readers and writers. Authenticity is what we're about. If we don't find a text or a question deeply and authentically interesting, we don't use it. Hence our motto, no fake work. That goes two ways. We want our own curriculum practices to remain grounded in authentic literacy, and we want students to bring their whole authentic selves to the table. We aren't here to simply do school. We're here to think and to grow together. The spirit and structure of our work. An Inquiry by Design classroom is marked by the use of complex, engaging texts, regular cycles of small and whole group discussion, and frequent opportunities to write, both to develop ideas and to express those ideas in more formal structures. We also believe that in addition to classroom texts that we all get to engage with together, students should be supported in developing a wide-ranging, independent reading life, one that reflects their own identities and interests. In all of this, we set aside time periodically for students to reflect on their thinking and learning and to set meaningful goals for themselves. These aspects all work together. To learn, we need challenges that are worth meeting. We need opportunities to process our thinking with peers. We need to know that our voice matters, and we need time to reflect on and to consolidate the work that we're doing. Authentic, high-quality, and diverse texts. For IBD, everything starts with a great text. We put an enormous amount of time and effort into selecting texts that will challenge and engage students, invite robust classroom discussion, and weave interesting thematic threads through the intellectual work of the unit. We also know that the standards call for both quantitative and qualitative complexity in the text students read, and for good reason. It's from complex texts that students learn to interact with and understand advanced vocabulary and syntax. It's in these types of readings that they've got to navigate multiple layers of meaning and inferential reasoning. It's here that they'll actually get a chance to practice and develop strategies for comprehension that will serve them with future readings as well. It's equally important to us that our materials include authors from a wide range of backgrounds and experiences. We of course incorporate some classic texts by authors like Langston Hughes and Alice Walker, but we also draw on many writers whose work is less traveled in the secondary classroom. Authors like Martina Spada, Nikki Giovanni, Gloria Anzaldúa, Ko Un, Violet Coopersmith, Ross Gay, John Edgar Wideman, and many others. Equity, inclusion, and cultural relevance. And when it comes to cultural relevance, it takes more than simply having diverse authors or representation. A curriculum, as it's written, is also responsible for how it positions each text in the classroom and for what it expects from the reader. Students deserve the chance to engage in important conversations, to consider, to criticize, to question, to lead with their own thoughts and voices. As an inquiry-based curriculum, IBD is uniquely situated in this space. It's also true that there's no wrong line of questioning, no experience considered irrelevant. The nature of an inquiry-based program like ours leaves many aspects open to student conversation and interpretation. And particularly during small and whole group discussions, we expect students to draw on their uniquely situated identities in order to help themselves and their peers work through each text. In other places, we also explicitly invite students to draw on their experiences and perspectives, as in the 7th grade unit Growing Up, in which students take on the autobiographical styles used by Bell Hooks and Richard Wright to craft stories from their own experiences, or the 9th grade unit Borderlands, where students use Gloria Anzaldúa's concept as a critical lens for reading other stories and for writing about their own experience of being in a borderland of their own identities. evidence-based discussion and writing. In all of this work, Inquiry by Design maintains both high expectations and an asset-based view of our students. Every step of the way, our work positions students to thoughtfully interact with texts in evidence-based discussion and writing, using a number of deliberate design strategies included in each lesson plan and guidebook to scaffold students' comprehension, including time for multiple readings of texts, time to break a text into manageable chunks and to summarize, and multiple opportunities for students to explore their stances clearly, both orally and in writing. These experiences highlight students' existing strengths as well as the skills and practices we can help them extend. The power of this approach to instruction is that each step of the way is driven by student thinking and ideas. And as students work to draft their written responses, Inquiry by Design supports teachers by providing a large number of genre-specific writing lessons, covering both the essential traits of each writing type, as well as the fine-grained particulars, to help teachers guide students into more sophisticated writing, no matter their entry point. Guaranteed viable curriculum. Our integrated view of reading, writing, and speaking and listening is grounded in the Idaho Content Standards for Secondary English Language Arts, and districts interested in learning more about our guaranteed viable curriculum are welcome to review our curriculum maps and scope and sequence documents, which include our standards alignment. We've also worked closely with recognized experts like Sally Hampton, who has spent decades deeply involved in standards-based writing education, to develop integrated, genre-specific writing rubrics that reflect the specific expectations of each grade level. Inquiry by Design's Digital Toolkit. In addition to these, Inquiry by Design offers seamless, easy-to-use digital amplifications for all secondary units. Our digital toolkits help teachers create rich communities of learners through collaborative discussion, brainstorming. Embedded within each toolkit are opportunities to scaffold learning through daily touchpoints, support peer-to-peer and teacher feedback, provide differentiated, genre-based writing instruction and assessment, and much more. Anything a teacher might want copies of can be printed directly from the website or pushed out digitally to all students, including digital writing assignments, rubrics, and discussion charts. The instructional shifts we've described are not always easy to make. But with our teacher manuals, our writing instruction resources, and our professional learning opportunities, we aim to support teachers as they focus on coaching and apprenticing students into a rich, thoughtful literacy. We deeply value our teachers, and we believe in our students and in the power of literature. And we know that at the end of the day, we're not here to teach texts. We're here to teach people. And there's no shortcut for that. It's hard work. But it's worth it. Idaho, thank you for your interest in our curriculum. Please don't hesitate to contact Dean should you have any questions about Inquiry by Design, or if you would like to request samples or schedule a presentation for your committee's review.